First business would be the secretary's report. Has everybody seen it, and anybody want to approve it, or?
I can be like Denny and say there was a
Typo?
typo and the end there. You had K9 KJLGU or something down at the bottom end.
Probably I forgot.
K9JLG.
Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, JGU. And then I also left a word out at the beginning too. I have meeting
That's close enough.
was called to by, so I got an order in there too.
Well, just because Denny's not here, I had to bring that
Well,
up.
that's,
So.
I always try to leave just a couple of things. Make sure Denny's
Did I get a
doing his
motion
thing.
to approve the minutes?
I so moved.
A second?
I'll second.
So moved.
Gonna vote?
And the treasurer's report.
Aren't you going to vote?
All is in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Carried.
All right, and at this point, for those viewers that are on here, we are going to mute the audio while we do the treasurer's report.
Let's see. Now we're down to the repeater report. Any news?
No, nothing to report there.
It works.
It does still work, yes,
Okay.
and it should.
Well, it's been sounding good from Sun Prairie, where I hit it the other day.
Over here.
Aries Races.
Okay, well, not a whole lot going on. Of course, I'm assuming that next month meeting will be at the field day site. We'll have our informal meeting out at the field day site on the same time and place as a normal meeting. Let's see. Speaking of Todd, I did get an email from Todd. There's a special Aries Races or emergency communications seminar, how to interact with our public agencies and all that up in Appleton. June was it 9th and 10th. and they had a list of requirements. There's only 30 people they're going to let come to this thing in the whole state. It's in Appleton. And you had to have a general. You had some work with emergency service in the last 18 months, which we've all done. You had to have your IS 100, 700, and here's the kicker, you had to have 200 and 800. And so that knocks down our availability, but if anybody falls within that category and wants to go up for 2 days, the 9th and 10th of June, I believe we'll let Donna know. And that's coming up. Of course, SimCom, and we'll be talking about that in a little bit. Otherwise, I don't have anything new for Aries Races right at the moment. We'll see what we cover tomorrow night on the net.
Thanks, John. Okay. So, anything to add to old business?
I guess this would still fall under old business now. We started last month talking about building, I call it an EOC Go Kit, but has housing a radio and headphone, microphone splitter so that we don't have to, or we could hear our radios without drowning out everybody else, and that kind of thing, all in a self-contained unit. It was sent out with the emails. I got a couple extra copies here if anybody needs to see one. The basic thing is the prices that you saw on there are if we went out and purchased everything brand new. Now Dan's come up with some ideas so we don't have to reinvent the audio system, using some stuff that they use in avionics that'll bolt right in. And as far as 24 volts to run the avionics, I've got industrial 24 volt power supplies coming out the yin-yang, so you know I can throw one of those in, so that significantly lower that price. And of course any other donations are welcome. I think Paul, you said you have a rack that might work for that, so that lowers the price. But basically the complete basic package with a mag mount antenna, with a Yaesu FT 8800, which is what we got for our 2 radios and cases for Aries. The reason why I chose that is because we already have 2 of them, so it'll be a little easier for more people to be familiar with it when they walk up to it. Plus the fact that I've got all the programming software for it already, so we wouldn't have to buy any more software. The complete budget I had at $1,675, but there again, like I say, that's based on everything new, no donations. I'm looking at a time frame, if it gets approved, is sometime after field day, is to get started on it. So I'm kind of looking for an answer before that point. Otherwise it'll have to sit till next fall, which is fine too. It makes no difference, I guess. It's just I've got the time right now, so it's the best time to try and for me to get stuff done.
Okay. Dan?
I already have a headphone distribution system. It's not microphone, but I got that. I brought along, I got it out in the van stand, one of the aviation headset systems I want you to take a look at. My suggestion would be we get the rack, we start putting the stuff together. If Paul's got the rack, he can have my headphone distribution system that I've got that you can take a look at anyways and all that. And my suggestion would be we've already got 2 of those radios, and let's get it set up with the radios that we already have, and once it's all put together we can always buy a radio for it. That would keep our initial cost down and make sure it's working the way we want it and got everything there without, because chances are when we're going to do an EOC we probably won't be fully deployed out with all the radios, at least right now, And so we should be able to use one of those radios, which would knock the heck out of your cost factor and not really holding us back on anything. Would that be right, Stan?
Yeah, because the radio itself right now is like $449. I just put $450 in here. That was the latest quote from AES.
So basically, if we would build the box and get the stuff in and work on this headphone distribution, and then maybe we want to get a headphone or headset or something like that, but we could do it and accomplish the same thing pretty well on the cheap for starters, and then we can always add to it. That'd be my opinion.
Yeah, I would concur with that, and if I have dimensions, my in-laws are carpenters and got the full shop, so I can have them build up the cabinet to whatever specifications we want. We just have to, purchase the plywood or whatever, and, they'll slap that together in no time, so we can get that, and then basically just have to mount our stuff in there, and then that should go together pretty quick then at that point, right, Stan? So.
Yeah, because the biggest thing is we want to build some storage capability into it. So basically, we can wheel in with a complete self-contained unit, and everything's in it.
And since we have Donnie here, what we're thinking is we're just gonna build up this little unit that has all our gear in it. When it comes time we need it, we can just wheel it out, flip up a side, turns into a little table. We have all our stuff mounted in there. When we're done, we close up the cover, throw a lock on it, can wheel it back into the corner. Is there any place down there to store this, if it's that, or
I would really like to see if I could get some place for you to store it. Right now, no.
with that?
I don't have anything right now.
With that, but we'll definitely put it on some pneumatic tires or something like that, so we can
If you could maybe tell me the
easily-
dimensions of what it might be, then I can see if I can find some place to store it.
Sure,
And-
yeah, because I'm guessing probably about half the size of one of these desks, type
Okay.
thing, just ballparking it to get the rough idea.
Okay, well, I'll do some checking. Right now, I don't know of any storage there at the moment,
Okay.
but I'll certainly do some checking.
Yeah, the rough dimensions I had so far were 24 by 24 by 32 inches high.
She can have one of these if you want.
Yeah, we kind of learned a few lessons last year when we had that drill and we had everybody down there in the EOC, so that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, because the sheriff's department said we were a little noisy for them when they were trying to hear, and, because we were trying to hear as well, and so that's why we are trying to come up with a better system, so that, plus a system where we have everything we need when we come in the door, so we can very quickly set up and be ready to go.
And I'm gonna do some rearranging in the Emergency Operations Center too for the Sheriff's Department for the dispatch. So where you're located in the EOC, if you're facing the back of the room, they're going to be off to your right-hand side now.
Okay.
And I'm going to utilize partitions for them, so they'll be in their little box.
Oh,
And they'll
okay.
have partitions separating from you and from the dispatch, so they have a little bit more.
That'll help a lot,
quiet
too.
time.
That'll help a lot too,
Yeah,
because we gotta keep the dispatchers happy.
well, yes.
Any other discussion on,
Is there an initial amount of funds that you think you need to get started here, Stan, that we need to approve tonight? A couple $100 or something for like a headset or something, or
Well,
what are we thinking? Do we need some funds approved tonight or not?
we just knocked off 450 with the radio, but we still need a rack mount 12-volt power supply to run the radio. Then whatever we come up with for avionics or whatever to do the distribution, I have no idea what the price is gonna be. I put a budget of 250 for just that piece. But if we get something for 50, we save 200 bucks.
I was gonna see if I could get it lower than that.
Well, that's fine, that's fine. I don't know because,
I'd say, why don't, let's start off with, I'll make a motion of $500, because the first thing we need to do is get the cabinet built.
Yeah.
Get the rack inside there. Once it is, then this other stuff can just be bolted, and then we can come back. We'll see what we've been able to come up with by then, and then, if we need to approve more, then we just approve more at that time.
and since we're gonna use one of the club radios now, I can build the faceplate for it, get that
Sure.
all set in. So, yeah, if we could just start out with an initial 500 and get it to the point where we see what the rest of the stuff is gonna cost by next fall,
I'll
then
second
we
that
can go
motion.
for that.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, John did I.
Oh, John.
Motion.
Oh, okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we're down to new business. Any new business? Sounds good.
I noticed a minor thing on our website. It says the meetings are every first Tuesday. It says Thursday instead of Tuesday. Just a minor thing, typo or something.
Which website?
I
tcarc.org?
think it's that one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just, I don't remember if I had it on my, it's not on the Aries Races one. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
We
remember
can
if I even
take
had
a
it
look
on
at
there.
that. That needs some overhauling, so that'll be happening, but yeah, we'll.
That's when they used to be a couple, 3 years ago.
If anybody's really handy with website design and wants to do some overhauling, we got plenty of work.
Why can't both of the Jeff Cars and our website all be into one? And
Well,
just
they're
have
two,
a
they're
link
two,
to
they're
that?
two separate, but.
They're,
Why can't we have a link to them?
well, we do.
Yeah, there is.
Instead of having, just have one website for our club plus Jeff Cars link, you wanna go on there? You got
Well,
it.
I think there is.
Yeah, you can.
There's a link on my, I know on the Jeff Cares, there's a link to go to
Put it all
TCRA.
together.
Yeah, I don't remember if there's not a link, but I'm gonna be dealing with a local gal in Jefferson, that's a friend of mine that does websites and stuff all the time, and I'm gonna see what I can finagle from her to do some website.
There is some cleanup that needs to be done.
And some things with that, because I don't have time to do it, and other things, and I mean, like I said, she's doing it all the time, and
Well, that comes
If I
down
can
to,
work something
from
out
a
with her
technical
to do that.
standpoint, I can do it, but pink, yellow, and green look just great on the same page to me. And so you really don't want me doing your
see what
your
you-
design work on it, you know?
for that, yeah, I mean, she's looking to expand her stuff there a little bit too, and, you know, she can get on her thing, put some other things
Put
listed,
the
I don't care.
graphics and all that new
Yeah, I'll have to
stuff.
Yeah.
get, I'll have to get her name, because I need one for
We'll come back with that, and I can maybe make an arrangement, and she can do some stuff for us, and vice versa, so.
Okay, we got anything else? Okay.
Anything to add for field day?
I have the trailers, at least the white one with the big window is all lined up. I've got, my brother's trailer is lined up. Obviously, mine will be there. Got the porta potty ordered. The only other thing we want to make sure is that Paul's not going to be there to do the cooking. You said you're going to be just in and out just a little bit there, so somebody want to do a little grilling, and we'll, you know, I'm assuming we'll do the same thing we did the last time, and what, 5 o'clock on Saturday, have
Yeah, I'll try to get that tent there.
have some,
You gonna bring your cooker again?
Ken,
That worked out pretty good.
next time remind me to put water in it when I leave, will ya? Somebody said there were flames coming up when we were going down the road.
I got a question.
Scared the crap out of
When's
her.
field day again?
It's like the 23rd.
23rd and 24th of June. It's the
Okay, I'll
first,
mark it
the
down on my
last
calendar.
full weekend
yeah,
of June. There is one more weekend at that, but it ends on Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
So it's
all right.
the 23rd and the 24th. So.
I'll double check. I don't think I have to work that weekend, but I'll take a look.
set up, you know, usually start at, what, 8, 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, set up. Field day officially starts at 1 o'clock, I believe, and it goes for 24 hours till 1 o'clock on Sunday. So,
It'd be nice to find out who's shown up so we can
well,
maybe get some
I,
kind of schedule, right?
right, I want to do the same thing that I did last year, and, you know, we're going to stay at 2 Alpha, I believe, this year. So I don't care how many actual transmitters we have. I encourage people to bring antennas and radios and all that stuff. But in order to keep it legal for 2 Alpha, we can only have 2 transmitting stations on HF at one time. And then we can have the GOTA station, and by the way, we did get approval to use KC9FFJ as the GOTA call sign. That way Donna can come and operate. And so we can do that, plus, 6 meters will be available, 6 meter VHF type of thing. So we can have all that. So what I want to do is, again, I would like to schedule it, so if somebody wants it, I didn't bring any sheets along this time, but I'll have them at the field day meeting, or we'll talk about it on the nets. If anybody has a particular time they would like to operate, let's put it down. And last year, I tell you, everybody says, well, I don't know, I'll wait and I'll tell you at the field day. That's kind of defeats the purpose of the whole thing. Then everybody's waiting, then we might as well not have a schedule. So I would really like to know when somebody wants, so we can organize it. I'd like to try to fill up the slots. We were number 2 in the state last year again in our category. So I would like to, we do it mainly for the fun and for doing it, but it's really cool when you look in QST and you're number 2. Of course, it'd be nice to be number 1, but I highly doubt we'll ever beat those Racine people down there. So, and of course, there's always the option, if we get so many people that want to bring transmitters, and I don't care if we go 3A or 4A as long as we're on the air with all those. But I don't want to say we're going to do 3A if, and then come and then gets to be 10 o'clock at night and we got 1 transmitter on the air. That I don't want to do. So, let me know if you want to bring a radio and antenna. We'll, love to have as many people as they want. Let me know if you got any particular operating time that you want, and I'll start the list. And again, I'll bring the list to the field day meeting next month, but we'll start talking about it on the nets, and you can go on the air and let me know. And also, just though we've got 4 viewers now on our video transmission here that we're doing. I think what I'm also going to do, just while we're mentioning things, is that SimCom. I'll probably have that running all the while, so anybody wants to see, they can see what's going on in SimCom on the air, and I might even have it out at field day and do that for people that are interested. So just as a footnote there. That's all I got.
Dan, when is the field day of the meeting you're going to have?
Same time as this meeting would be, but next month, whatever the normal.
Second Tuesday.
It'll be the 12th.
June 12th.
June 12th,
At the field day site.
We're that year.
Huh?
We're 1 year we were out there.
Yeah, at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Just to go, what I want to accomplish at that meeting is, at that point, I'd like to finalize to know how many people are bringing radios. We can go over and say, okay, let's put this one here. That way, when people start pulling in on Saturday morning, rather than mass confusion, you're going to set up over there, you're going to set up over there, and we kind of got an idea of what's going on, and we can decide where we want the porta potty, and if somebody's going to be camping, where do we want to put the tents, and where do we want to do all that stuff, because so we kind of did it the last few years, and I think it's a nice organizational schedule on it.
Right. Otherwise, it gets mass confusion.
Right. We want to avoid that.
Plus, June 17th is Ride the Rock, so
Yep.
5 days later you can.
Yeah, so, well, we're going to come off of SimCom on the 31st of May, and then also on June 3rd is the pancake breakfast at the Juneau Airport. We are going there in conjunction with SWARA, Sullivan Weather, and the Dodge County Amateur Radio Club is going to be up there. So we're doing a joint thing. I'll have my trailer up there. They're going to have their trailer up there. And with Sullivan's going to be up there. And then on the 10th, we're going to be doing the same thing. Dodge County isn't going to be there, but we're going to be at the Watertown Airport for their pancake breakfast. That's in the morning at 8 o'clock. Those are both 8 o'clock in the morning type things. And we'll be there with Sullivan at the Watertown, and then of course the 17th is the Ride the Rock. So June's a busy month. And then of course then after that is field day.
Okay, have we got anything else? Are you gonna have,
We'll conclude the meeting and then we'll let Donna.
Okay.
It's-
do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting is done.
Now it's time for our guest speaker, Donna from Jefferson County Emergency Management.
Oh, before I forget, John said if anybody wanted this, it was up for grabs, so.